Hi everyone, this is a bit of an impromptu Facebook Live. I'm just met for coffee with one of my good friends, Valerie. And she has just been sharing with me some really cool results that she has had. Well, not just her, but two people that she shared my book with. Can you share a bit about what kind of results you had?
Yeah, so I've always been generally pretty healthy my whole life, but what Neil had in his book, when I read it cover to cover almost, and it was one sitting to be honest with you, the fact is it was so vital, so inspiring that I put into place many of the concepts that he talked about. And in my journey, I was sleeping so much better. I had never been sleeping. If I did sleep, I'd wake up at 3 every night. So my sleeping was nourished and deep and wonderful, and my skin started glowing. And then thirdly, yeah, it was amazing. And just the general overall lack of like inflammation that I would feel. People were like, oh, you lost so much weight or whatever. I'm like, I don't lose pounds, but you know, thank you. I didn't have to lose weight necessarily, but I looked 30% smaller just because like there was no inflammation. And I mean, not to be weird, but just like everything, circulation and like, you know, assimilation of nutrients, and then, you know, all the other processes of a body, like, were just flawlessly in line.
Made better. Brilliant.
And you don't realize
I love
how
hearing this kind of stuff.
thwarting, you know, little things can be in life until like then you're not dealing with them anymore. And then going back to the whole thing of the authenticity and doing our gifts and talents, for me, it allowed me to pursue my music even more, and like the associations I would have were more vital, and things started happening in a very interesting way, like qualitative life things versus just even the quantitative thing of like, oh yeah, my blood pressure was better, my heart felt better, like everything felt better, my skin was glowing. And then like this qualitative aspect of life was so much better, which then helped
amazing.
My
That's
business.
like that's a ripple effect, kind of like the ripple effect, isn't it? What happens when your energy improves? These two other people you mentioned, one of whom has a child who did have eczema. What happened with them?
So this child I've watched for 6 years, and we would be at her brother's baseball games, and my son would play baseball with her brother, and the mom would never be around. And I'm like, where did you go? And she goes, oh, so-and-so has eczema, her daughter. She would have to disappear to handle the child because this eczema was so horrific in everyday life situations, whether she be at the supermarket or her son's baseball game or whatever. She was dealing with this horrific eczema problem for years. I've known her for 7 years now, but I mean, this started happening like 4 years ago when I met her, where I saw the damaging effects of this skin disease on their lifestyle.
Wow.
Anyway, net of it is, Neil and I meet. I tell her about the remedy of his plan of action on things like eczema, and it was as though within easily 4 weeks and maybe 6 weeks at the most, this child has now a normal lifestyle. The family is relieved of this burden of this massive eczema problem that was changing their lifestyle, and the child is so much happier. She's thriving in school, she's thriving in her social circumstances, she's not, you know, self-conscious about it, and it's been an amazing turnaround. So that was one in particular.
I loved hearing this because this is why I do what I do. It's that kind of feedback is incredible. It's just helping change lives.
Yeah. Another fella who's this masterfully, you know, strong athlete his whole life, and then as he got into his mid-40s, he started really slipping and not doing as much exercise. Still looked great, but not as vital as he had been. I gave him your book, and I kept noticing it on the bookshelf. Still, the spine wasn't broken, the pages weren't rumpled. And when you read your book, it becomes like a recipe book. You like devour it, and you keep it, and you go back and you refer time and time again. And so I know that book was not touched. Anyway, net of it is, all of a sudden he read it, and I noticed that he read it, and I could see this change in him attitudinally, where all of a sudden he's going down the gym in the building that he lives at. He's doing 100 sit-ups every morning. Then he's doing 200 sit-ups every morning. And, you know, he's telling me this. I'm not witnessing it necessarily, but then I do witness that he's starting to bike. And then he bikes further. And then every Sunday, now he gets a friend, and they bike together. So then socially, it became better that he started seeing people more because he was getting a little isolated. And now he's in the most, like, he looks like a 30-year-old, and he's probably mid-50s. And his body is, like, so strong. He's so vital. He's eating healthy.
I want to meet him.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Easy. And he will credit, you know, reading your book and getting inspired to see the logic, see the power, and see the, again, vitality of living in a body that's as fruitful and maximized as it possibly can be because of
Wow.
healthy eating and healthy lifestyle.
Wow.
And he bikes like Sunday mornings. They leave at 6. I think they get back at 4. These guys, it's
Incredible.
amazing, and it's just. I think he's extended his life cycle because I didn't tell you this, but the problem was he was starting to get high blood pressure. Completely averted.
Seriously.
Uh-huh.
High blood pressure gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, mid
yeah.
40s, early 50s kind of guy. I mean, maybe that's the thing that happens. I don't know, but genetically speaking, he also had it.
It can happen with age, but it's not a sign of aging. If that
No.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a sign
right.
of chronic inflammation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, that inflammation thing, like as a pianist, I have more agility in my hands now too, because my hands aren't all puffy and like I felt puffy, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And like that lack of like puffiness or pressure inside your body is what's so cool about it. Everything
Incredible.
makes total sense. The frankincense, golden myrrh, love that.
Such
Keep
loyal
referring back to
people.
that.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
You just shared with me loads of new information, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everyone. And I'd like to invite you to get your copy of the second edition of The Vitality Secret. I've got until 12 p.m. Pacific, Saturday the 1st of December, to get at least 100 pre-orders, and your support would be amazing. This is going to be way more than nutrition, lifestyle and psychology. This is about going deep into the mind-body connection, alleviating your body of stress and trauma, the power of belief, the power of the emotions over the quality of your cells and throughout your body. There's a huge amount of science now coming through about the quality of our emotions, and there's an emotional scale about how the emotions affect the pharmacy of chemicals inside your own body. So all this kind of stuff, plus more, and medicinal cannabis, there's loads more stuff going into it basically. So I'd like to invite you now to get your copy because it's going to be pretty powerful, even if I do say so myself.